So the last word, you can get a stand on the 3-part drill, and you can do it like that, or you can do it with the chip. But don't be upside down when you're doing it with the chip. You're going to find your own ways to add to this. Right now, stick with what you've been taught. If you finish it on, you need another one before your training. Just write.
Another placement test?
Yeah, we'll have to give you another one. You might want to do some videos before with maybe another teacher. If you want me to see how you plan on implementing it, because I think everybody's biggest concern, you can talk during your everybody's biggest concern is, if I could do it, I know it would be right. How do I do this with someone else? I would make it grade specific. I think we can talk. How do you feel about doing the placement test before now?
I don't think they can do it before the teachers.
What about the comprehension one? They're just reading and answering questions.
I guess my concern is, how are you going to roll out to the teachers how to do the placement test if they haven't had any training? However, I don't see anything wrong with if you're working with the teacher in a classroom and you want to do some placement tests with the teacher. But just to say to them, you got to do the placement test, it's not going to happen.
No, there's got to be some kind of,
There has to be some
so that they know to tell them to click on the sound.
Right,
Each
and
lecture.
exactly. But that's a good idea. Can you get to their schools and help them with the placement test? Because it would just give us more answers on the training and the grouping, and
there is a possibility that some people might be able to give a placement test to a few children in individual classrooms.
Right.
But not to do every placement.
I wouldn't do a whole class, but it's good to do a couple children at a time.
But you know, I mean, you might do like a first grade teacher that you can work with, that you have time to go into that room and say, let's just try this, you know, and give the placement test to her 3 or 4 kids. Or, you know, I don't think too many people have more than 5 kids in a classroom.
Right.
If a teacher has been giving good instruction, placement tests will be more accurate than if they just throw it out. You know, I mean, sometimes when you just throw a placement test to the kid when they're still,
They're just clicking and
they're
then
still
you're
in
not
brain
getting
fog
real
from the
data.
summer.
The other thing, after you take the placement test on the font, you want to decide, do you want first grade to start with lens, or second grade to start with, and not go through all of the placement phonics tests. That's up to you, because I would probably imagine that none of those children and on the roster know all their letter sounds, phonemic awareness. But then we don't want them, we want to get it moving so we can get going.
I would hate to see,
Everybody in kindergarten.
you know, I would hate to see like.
So, I
every
mean,
second
we
grader
just have to
in
like
kindergarten.
show the teacher how she can go back and review the vowels. Hey, she has the cards, she can do the 3-part drill, and then they can go as decided in the specific workbooks, unless they're really low.
And you know, and I also think that, you know, just like we do in summer school when we're not sure if the kids are going to stay, we say in the beginning, you know, print out a page or 2 and let them try the workbook. You know, if you're not sure, and then before you write on it, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. But you know, it's just going to be a trial and error. This is the first year we're doing this, and people are going to have to be patient. But I really would hate to see the majority of 3rd graders in the first grade program, because they're never going to get ready for FSA. You know what I'm saying?
So you're going to have to push them more, and you're going to have to, you might have to level up their levels on the reading too.
Right, because, you know, what they say, if the kid's seeing this complex text first time on FSA, it's not going to work. You know, we heard that even Monday and Tuesday. You've got to push them. So while I'm not saying to put kids in something that's going to totally frustrate them, with scaffolding, try to keep them as close to what they should be as possible.
And we want to move them up on their levels on max reading, because that does relate to the FSA. And again, you got to get into the written responses. because third grade they have to do that. You can all log in, hopefully, to this login. Go to MaxScholar.com. You can do MLECNIS. We're logging into some reports so you can see some MLECNIS.
We don't know how to spell that word.
MLEKNESS.
Thank you.
I'm going to see if we can all get in. And then the password is Mike.
L-E-K what?
MLEKNESS. And Mike12 is the password.
Capitals or
All lower.
like 1, 2?
So it should say, welcome Mike, because you said something, you want to scaffold them up.
And then Mike.
So I'm going to show you the beauty of the program. You're going to go to settings. No, okay. And you're going to go to, so you're going to go to settings students. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down. You're going to do all students. When you get your list, go to the first pencil where it says edit. Scroll down. Okay, so let's say you only wanted them to have lens. So click lock.
On all of them except blanks.
Whatever one you want. I'm just showing you, you can do that.
So even if the placement test puts them on phonics, you can lock phonics and make them go to blends, you said?
Yeah, you can override
If you
it.
had to.
Right.
And that
But if
right
you
there.
do not
Go up.
save it, it
Right
will
there.
not last.
So what I'm thinking is, this is
From
like
being able to go.
a case-by-case situation. It's something that's not something we should roll out to
Yeah,
teachers
don't
this
put
year.
everyone on it.
It's something that if you're working with a teacher and you're seeing certain things that you want to work with, then you
Yeah,
can
it
lock.
just won't give
Well,
you
and
that Lexile level,
So don't.
that first one that you saw.
I'm thinking with our third grade group.
Okay, now I want everybody to scroll down, do another
We're gonna
student, and I want to show you
follow
where,
up. So,
go to edit. I want to show you where there's like a blue dot on the max reading and you can move them up a level. Let's say you wanted them to do the pictures first. You could put them to 0. Okay, but you gotta move that blue button to where you want it. You just scroll on it and stop.
cool.
Then scroll to the bottom and you see a parent information. That's if you, we will give the parent a free license. Let's say you do not want them to have Max Music or Max Bios or Max Vocab, then you would lock it. So if you do the placement test, so here's a child that wasn't, we did a lot of summer school, that started out here and now he's on a 200, but he's got to get to a 300. So you've got to do the placement test to get that type of information of where he started. And it'll show that they made progress or they didn't. It's in the manual under reports. If you want to go to the student reports and go back to the thing girl, and then you have to put a date. So go down. And you can put if you don't want a placement test. So you know how to lock and unlock. And this is how you move the spindle for the reading if you want. You can only do one level, don't do 2.
Only move it up or down one level.
Right. Because that might help you when you set up your groups and whatever. So remember I said we can take sight words and put glue on it? So we're going to see it. This is how you do a glue stick gun. And this will dry and they can have it tactile. It really works wonders. And then you can do the Fresnel method where they trace it, T-H-E-Y, and then they write it on the back of the stone. Now, I like the glue stick also for my double vowels. Because really, it's just kind of come from, remember, when you trace them in the air, you're going your gross motor movement into the kinesthetic memory. And when you trace on here or in the sand, the index finger goes right to the brain and will go in here. So, let's say the teacher forgot the sand, forgot the salt, forgot the glue gun. Let them trace it on the table with their index finger. Always give them a plan B. Okay, so this will dry, and this, but you can see how valuable that is. This is another way to do your reading deck for your clover, for your double vowels. And if you go into your manual, we are going to be in the Clover book, and we are now on Vowel Team, page 76. I do want you to take the time to make these cards because I want you to know if it's at the end of the word or the beginning of the word, because that's how I teach the double vowels. So let's look at double vowel A. There's A-I, A-Y as in spray, A-I as in strain, E-Y as in gray, E-I as in bean, E-A as in great, E-I-G-H-T as in free. So it goes from the most common to the least common. In addition, with double vowels, we do a lot of practice like this in the book. You can have them work in their workbook and using the salt, the sand, the tapping, but I think it's very good. Go to page 25, and you'll see there's always a test where they've got to decide which is a close, which is a consonant LE. Every two they get it. And they also have to write a paragraph with it. So I would use these as lessons, like if it's double O, there's ways of finding that. It's just going to be a lot of drill and practice. And you're going to have your teachers test them on fluency, spelling, and sentence dictation. Everything else can be pretty much done on the workbook and in the software. So double vowels A-Y, as in spray, it makes the sound A. You can just copy what's on page 76.
In the manual.
So when you get to this point, if you're doing a sound dictation, tell me all the ways of saying A. They're going to go in the sand and do a lot of underlining and a lot of dashes because there's a lot of different sounds in there.
But I was looking for what to write on the back.
Yes, it's in the workbook.
In the workbook.
Let's go to the E-E. E-E as in sheep. E-A as in tea, E-Y as in money, E-I as in seas, I-E as in chief. So it's basically A-E-I-O and U. And you have O-O is in hood and O-O is in moon. O-Y and O-I are called, you'll hear, diphthongs. Because usually in a vowel team, you only hear one sound. But in oi, you would hear two. Or oil, or toil. Those, but dough with an O-E, you would tap out. D-O, dough. So now I'm going to give you a little quiz before we go on to spelling rules. I'm going to walk around the room, and then I want you to just go on your software so I know you know where it is. And write agent. What's the first syllable called? Open. Good. Jungle. What's the second syllable?
Go.
Pardon? Okay, what's it called? Consonant L-E. Remember, take 3, go back. Okay. What kind of syllable is glass and plastic?
Glass is close.
Good. Candle. What's the second syllable? Mississippi. What is P? What kind of syllable?
It's an open syllable because it ends in a vowel.
Right. Why? Okay.
Because it ends in a long vowel.
Y is a vowel. Good. Doctor. What's the second syllable? Our control.
Is it necessary to have a picture on those vowel
For the
forms?
young children, definitely.
Okay. But like when we move into the...
When you move into this, and if they know it, you just can do it like that. I showed you the 3-part drill where they just said the sound because it was already the end of the year. And she would like say, write the sound of And at that point, they wrote C/CK/QUE. But you're not ready for that at the beginning. So you can just go faster. And then you can make words with this and words with the chips. So now I want you to go to My Max and go to Spelling Rules, which is under Max Words. Now you can teach one rule at a time. And there's no reason why even in kindergarten they can't learn the floss rule or the Y is an I rule. So you don't have workbooks on this. You don't need it. I would just enhance it with this. I think you have enough on the software. And the lesson plan for spelling rules is the same lesson plan for multisyllabic. These are rule-based. So the first rule is FFLLSS. Remember we had that conversation? So here they can read the words, and then they have even a word per minute timing on it, because they should know it. They've already done A, E, I, O, U and the phonics. So you have to turn on your speaker, and until it goes to 0, because they have to practice it, you can't go ahead. So who can tell me the floss rule? Yes.
It's a short vowel word that ends in L, F, or F, L, or S. You double the final consonant.
And then sometimes ZZ too. Why do you spell fell, F-E-L-L?
Because the E is a short vowel.
Ending in a.
Ending in an L.
And it's a one.
So we double it whenever it's
So
an
it's
F-L or
F, L,
S.
and S. If it ends in that sound, and it's a short vowel, you just double
And how would we tap out fell? L.
L.
Ooh. 2 letters, 1 sound on the spelling rule. You go to OK next. But if I was a teacher, I would put the timing there just so I know how they're doing on that, and I would dictate some words. Our order is different. That's right. Everybody's order is different because we don't want children looking at other people. So here they're dragging and clicking, and they can do more than one letter multiple times. So do you think that would help reinforce the floss rule of a short vowel followed by F, L, and S? So everything is interactive and kinesthetic. Now, what you need to know is you can always do this again. And it's up to the teacher to look at the reports, and for you, if you see some that are 40% or 50%, what do they have to do? They got to go back. Okay, so let's go to Y as an I. We didn't talk about Y can be an I. And it can be an E, like Debbie, D-E-B-B-Y. But here Y is an I. So Y would be a what, everybody? A vowel or a consonant? A vowel. So it can be a Y too. So here's the words for them to visually see. And again, you can introduce this with your kindergarten or 1st grade or 2nd grade because they are working on vowels. Then we always have to see how they read per minute. So you have to put start. If they don't put start and practice it, because spelling is visual memory. The most of it is visual memory, so they visually have to see that list. If they're reading it to themselves or with a partner, during that explicit lesson, the teacher has to hear. That's the beauty of it. Everything correlates to the other. So in their old ways of skidding by, they can't anymore. Because you have the same things and it's pretty easy. You do want them to see it. You can have them read the list to you. You can have them trace it. And now, again, in which of the following words does the Y say I? So you're going from cognitive to affective, getting them to think. The cardinal thing that you have to break on these kids is their strategies to memorize everything. So if you give them the option of doing it again in the same questions or the same words, then the computer really isn't helping the child. So sometimes you might get 2, so just pick one of the 2 and the one that lights up will be okay. Spelling rules, we write on cards, because it's rule-based, just like Clover. We're teaching them phonics. That's why I don't want them to have a read aloud beyond second grade, because you just need to spend more time on this. Oo is considered long. And that's tricky for kids. That's one of the exceptions you have to teach. That is a tricky one. Because smoke, even though it doesn't end in a K, it has a K because what rule is that? What type of syllable is that, everybody? Smoke is the what? On Clover. Silent E, magic E. Okay. So you have to be aware when they do that. We try to teach them how to read directions of what's not and what is.
This one is
Would
really.
you say this one or this one does not follow the CK rules?
Well, I see our control.
Oh, I see, because which of the following words does not follow the K, CK, and bar?
That's an R.
I would try, but our control also, and that's what I wanted to point out, gets the long sound.
Okay, so
which one does not follow the
It's-
CK rule?
it's weird because what they is like we've just taught them that it's the long vowel gets the K and the short vowel gets the CK.
But it
But
has
in
to
this
be.
case, it's any word that would normally have the K, they've changed them. Because like I just got a list in mine, which of the following words does not follow the KCK rule? And it's tank, wink, trunk, and spank. None of which are just K or CK, they're all NK. But the one of the tank words is TANCK. So I would have to know that that's the one
Right.
that's wrong.
Because it's the long end.
It's tricky, and it's tricky to do
I
this.
know, that's really...
But that's why you can do this with the teacher can do it with the students.
I can tell you the teacher's going to need to because I need to.
So here you can try this, the K and CK. There are exceptions, you know, with the long and short sound of CKK and J and GE. But it gives them more practice than anything out there. And you'll find that when they have a device to do this with, it more or less holds their attention than you always talking, even with all the visuals. I want you to see this, everybody, look above. So you can have them redo it. And if they haven't finished, they have to continue. It's incomplete. So they have to go back. So CH and TCH is the same rule as K and CK because this is with the short vowel and this is with a long vowel. But you'll see a scaffolding of them learning the alphabetic code of the English language, which up till now, they never had that opportunity. So it is pretty profound. For touch, double vowels get CH, but short vowels get TCH. Because some people get thrown because of the double vowels. But it's considered like the long sound. Match, you hear the at. Starch, are controlled, short sound, just like with the other one. These you'll have to print out if you want more sheets. Do you see the structure of why they learn to work independently? Because it's a drag and click, whether it's LLFSS or CHTCH or GEDGE. And that makes it empowering for the children because they're doing the same thing with different content, just like the Max reading. You can also print out this sheet and have them just fill it in. So we didn't do the LD, ND, ST. That's a spelling rule. I'll click on it. I'm just going to go over the rule. So that's what we call welded sounds, and the vowel is what? With LD,
Long.
It's long. And those are just welded sounds of LD, ND, and ST. Like most, wild, rhyme. Welded. They weld together. Now we have ow and ow and aw and aw, which are double vowels or vowel teams, but they have a spelling rule associated with it. So ow at the beginning or middle of the word, unless ow sound is followed by a single NLEROR, then use OW. It's really tough, this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you have to pick your battles of what they're going to remember, because a lot of it is a little confusing. But you can go to MaxWords and you can do contractions. So I've put that on there for you to see that some rules will be difficult. And there's no race, they don't have to do all of them. This you want to write down because it's the most common spelling rule. If you have one short vowel syllable ending in one consonant with one vowel suffix, I double the consonant. So I would give them words like mad and write matter. How would you spell matter?
You'd add the D.
Why would you add the D?
Because it's a short vowel, it should be
And it has a vowel suffix. So here they're starting to learn morphemes. There are exceptions, but when it's most of the time when it starts with the suffix, with the consonant, we don't add it. Here they get to see it. And sad, even though it's a short vowel word, it doesn't have a short vowel suffix, so we don't double it. So you're showing them different ways of doing it, and you're talking about suffixes. So I'd have them definitely square it off and identify if it's a vowel suffix or a consonant suffix. And the 1-1 rule is a cardinal rule in Orton Gillingham because it is common. And that, and then the Y with the suffix rule. So let's go back to that. Silent E rules. Everybody's clear about this? Which grades?
Kindergarten. First and
And going back if you need, but you don't have to go back so thoroughly. MaxWords, pretty much 3rd grade, but we will do, if let's say the student finishes all of the short vowels, of short vowels, blends, and digraphs, and the teachers tested them, they have pretty good fluency, their spelling looks pretty good, go to Clover, go to the closed syllable.
So Clover and the spelling rules are within MaxWords.
Yes. Let's go to Max Phonics. So go here. So know that this is for phonics. So let's go to memory for those kindergartners who are emergence really low. They've got to build their visual memory. So start playing. So you have to click on 2 and see if you can remember where they're at.
Okay, I got all mine.
There's
now.
there you go. Yeah.
So it's good for kids to develop their visual memory, and it gets harder, and then it gets to words. So go to the next
So I have a
one.
question. If they're not at this level, but you want them to work on their memory, can they go and play this game?
They can. Good question. You do not have to escalate scaffold up for this. This they can do. Because we need to look at why some of these kids are struggling, and sometimes it's a memory issue. You know, with our kids, we played memory. But you're in Title I schools. They don't. Parents have no time. And that's why you have to have so much of this, of the developmental things in here too, to get the brain ready for it. So one is memory for pictures, letters, and words. Then we have word builder. So here it's a review of your blends. One is your consonant, so scroll it up. So it's a review of all the phonics. So here, what is CH? A blend or digraph, everybody? Digraph. Okay, so they're mixing digraphs and blends, but they're getting to see segmentation, and they enjoy it. And we go back to the short vowels. So TCH is what, everybody?
Digraph.
Digraph.
2 letters and sounds.
Is PL a blend or a digraph?
Blend.
Is G a consonant or a blend?
Consonant.
Consonant. So you're working the language of the sound structure through Gamification is an effective way to teach too. But just doing this without having done everything else won't be as effective. TR is blend or diagram.
Blend.
Okay. So it's good reinforcement. So go to phonics again. Scroll down. And remember I said you should do something with phonemic awareness at least once a week in your direct. So go to space rhyming. A lot of our kids do not know how to rhyme, and that is part of phonemic awareness. Okay, so track. What would rhyme with it? Just click on the word back. That's why
I don't have to drag it.
Right, and if you have your sound on, it'll say the word.
It is saying it.
This could be another good way on hide slide to teach the magic E. The young ones, once they get that phonics piece, they just start taking off. Once they have the confidence in the reading and blending it and the word per minute timings and they see their growth, they're in. And then again, the teacher could give them rhyming words to spell and read. So you can use this also to review the different types of Max words. With the MP, that's the spelling rule. You have to always do the circle. You did continue. So that continue is good. That was done, so you have to train the children to go where they left off. It says continue. If they go to the circle, it won't take them to where they left off. So this is words within words. Let's go to the close real quick so I can show you what it's about. So it's a review of your clover. So this is a closed syllable, nap. So if you add kin, what do you get? And that's basically what seeing stars is. Napkin, napkin. You have nap and then you have kin, so you have napkin. So you're having more reinforcement of clover, and this is a which syllable?
Close.
Close. So it's a review of all 6 syllable types, another way for them to learn it to memory and the keyword to automaticity. So if this is dim, then it's dime. What a better way to really show the short vowel versus the magic E. Oh, you don't hear on this?
Yeah.
Okay, there's no read aloud. This is reinforcement of phonics. If we read it to them, then they're not going to learn it. Let's go to dashboard, dashboard. But let's go, everybody go to materials, everybody go to Max Phonics. So let's just review. You have the lesson template again if you lose it. Open up the visual sound cards of blends and digraphs over here. So let's say you didn't want to go through the whole software program, but you wanted to do the visual drill. Well, you have these cards, but let's say you wanted them to practice at home or with their teacher, you could send it. Okay, and if you have a color printer, you put the letters on the front, the picture on the back. So those are all your blends. Keep going, down. And those are all your diagrams. Okay? So that's important for you to know. Let's go back. So there's 9 pages, and let's look at the next. Because for some of your children, you can have in front of you all of the verbiage with it. So if you want to go faster, you can, and if they're not doing it right, you can go back to it. So you have all of the 26 letters. The English language has 26 letters, but 44 sounds and 144 variations.
I think the teachers will like to see this.
I think that'd be helpful to have in their small group table.
I mean, you're going to find that they're going to probably adapt some of these things into their classroom. At least I hope they do. Because in kindergarten and first grade, they certainly should.
So they can use some of this for kids that are not even.
Right, everybody, when they're teaching this for free.
I mean, they can do that 3-part lesson that I showed you with
Even
the whole class.
In a mini lesson or something.
And then that's good for that child to get it again.
Sure.
But just so you know, when you do a 3-part drill with the whole class and you do your cards and you do your tracing or your sand and then you blend words together, then I use cards. But you're always teaching to the middle. But it's still better. They have found that 10 minutes a day of a 3-part drill improves reading. Just that. And they find that when they do all of this, if they do it, you will see substantial gains, just like you've learned so much. Okay, so let's go to
About sight words.
the sight words. In kindergarten, they get the what, first 90? What were you
Is it
saying?
90? Yes.
It's 90 by the end of the year.
They need 90 words by the end of
So
the year.
look at the sight words, how I've done it here. This is important. I did all the 1 letters, all the 2 letters, and then we scaffold up higher.
I'm wondering how the closest is to Bill, to
Blevins.
Blevins.
The order.
Yeah, we should check that out.
This is like kindergarten through step 4. And then if you go step 5, 6, 7, 8, it's cumulative plus that. You can scroll down. And really, with sight words, you can just test them on it, and what they know and can spell, you give the check, the others go on a card. So you keep a running record. Take
You know
your
what?
list and put it like this. Redo the list and
In the
send it to
others.
me. I don't care what words they are, as long as they learn them. Eventually, you're going to have to learn all of them. The word per minute chart, please open that because you're going to need a lot of those. This is probably the most motivating, and sometimes they make little bulletin boards of it. So they like to keep trying. Just because you see 5 tries, I want to point out, doesn't mean that it's only 5 times. Your training is very important because if you get teacher buy-in, they'll start using it.
Those are just
And before you know it,
4.
it'll be school-wide.
So one of the benefits of our model then, which I would say, rather than having a whole district together, is coaches have a very close relationship with their teachers, and they are training them in very small groups. Maybe they're putting first and second grade together, but we're not talking about large amount of teachers. So that buy-in will happen through the PD model we use.
I really think it could be written up because most of the time we train all the teachers. And it's always a good implementation where you see significant gains when there are people, what I call leads, that are in charge or train the trainer. So I have added more Clover instructional worksheets for you, just like I did for the workbook, so open that up. But I do want them to do their workbook. But just scroll down and you see there's these. You can have printable. And you can send some home. So you don't have to send the whole workbook home, but they can practice. And then look at the Clover word per minute chart. So it's just tailor-made for Clover versus the other one. You can copy the Clover visual cards and the spelling rules. So here's a rule. This will go on the back. There's your rule. There's your words to go with it.
We were talking about too is we could actually do that on the computer and then print the index cards through the printer instead of having to have the teachers handwrite all of them.
Yeah, I have it ready.
So,
So whatever however you want to work.
Go to documents. I just want you to read this article, Avoiding the Devastating Downward Spiral, which you should share with your principals. It just talks about the downward spiral of reading, and the research is showing we must go back to multisensory phonics and how it's been missing. Set goals with the teachers, set goals with the students, and if they make it, they're the scholar of the month, get the principal to call them down.
Well, a lot of schools have like quarterly award ceremonies.
Here's how to use MaxScholar at home for parents and the letters to parents.
That's a good one.
It has the scope and sequence, and also it has the Lexile levels.